Okay, that was a flashy introduction, wasn't it? All right. So, um, good morning, everybody, and I'll keep that up when we have our all of our meetings. Um, at several different occasions. So, good morning, everybody. Now, today the plans are going to be very, very straightforward. There isn't going to be a whole too much going on. Me and Zach Callison, we're going to be having our little lesson and doing Aladdin. I'm going to be having the songs that we can probably sing to it, and then there'll be some official sounds added in to it, with the other parts and with the other small parts. So, I think that we're going to be taking a step backward today, and we're going to be honoring Zach Callison again. And we really didn't see one of those videos on YouTube because I've been searching, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're also going to be, not to mention, later this afternoon, we're going to be going to McDonald's, and we're going to be ordering smoothies, and then we're going to be having some fun in Buxton Park. We have a picnic table set up, and we're going to sit and we're going to talk and get to know and connect and have quality time again with Just Said Magic, Olivia Sanabia, Aubrey Miller, and Abby Dinelli. Okay, and walking around and smelling the flowers and roses, everything, which is really something that we should have done on mainly because that was tourist season. But so that's the one of the mill. So this morning we're going to be, let's see, we're going to be watching the horoscope. Then we're going to be watching a video of Zach Callison, and then I'm going to be having my Cancer Clubbers come in here for just a short little reading or so, and the individuals who are reading Everlast will come in here as well this morning. And then after all of those things are done, we're going to be having our little lesson. Then after lunch is going to be Aubrey's or Hannah's biggest resemblance prayer. Now the thing was with Abby's yesterday, we had it on the Zoom meeting because we just can't get people to come here from a miles away distance. So we just thought that it would be easier that way. But that's what we're going to be doing again for Aubrey's resemblance, just so that it's a lot easier. So if you're planning to join the Zoom meeting, then I have written instruction, the most specific online, instruction, for you to look at and to follow. And I think that it should be pretty easy, and you're planning to join the Zoom meeting, right? Wonderful. So, and you're reading Everlast with us. Wonderful. Okay, so let's see here. Oh yeah. Some people were asking me about the plans that I have on the back of this board that I've written on Noel Streep's birthday. Let's see here. One of the things that we're going to be looking at is Chowtalia chicken soup. We didn't look at that yet. Super Nanny. We haven't watched an emotion of that. We're not doing. Okay, so I figured that we would do one thing on this list today, and I think that maybe that's probably going to be the Chowtalia chicken noodle soup making. We're going to be watching a little video on that because that really gets into the flavor of cancer. Think of cancer as the mother, as the nurturer kind of thing. And chicken noodle soup is one of those recipes. It's a really, really big recipe. A very, very big symbol of cancer because it's supposed to nurture and take care of you and help if you have a cold. And you, Aubrey, you said something about chicken noodle soup clearing a little your cold while breathing it in, and it just does magic. When you made the pick 'em out chicken soup. So we might actually maybe take a look at that, maybe. I didn't really know. Maybe we will, maybe we will not. But another version of chicken noodle soup is, I remember there's a Vietnamese restaurant downtown that we used to go to, and I don't know if it's in business anymore, but I used to go down there, and I ordered this Vietnamese soup that was called pho. It had I think pork in it. It had just a really, really flavorful broth, and it's like it was hot and steaming, and that would be the kind of thing to clear your sinuses out, and that would be the Vietnamese equivalent of chicken noodle soup. So if you were in a cold but you were feeling, you had an appetite and you wanted something adventurous, then definitely order that and then breathe it in because it is delicioso and very, very nurturing. So that's one recommendation. So we're going to be watching maybe Chowtalia, or if I can find another video on chicken noodle soup making, then sometime today we will get to that. Okay, just hoping we will, because you know me. So we are going to be this afternoon seeing season 4, episode 2 of Just Add Magic. Okay, and season 4, episode 2. We've already seen episode 1 last night, where the grandmother came back in 1975, and then she messed up the timeline. They went back to twisted reality, and then they went '70s, and then and one really, really important detail that I think that you need to remember is remember in the '70s when they went to Mama P's, you know, restaurant, they got that recipe to keep the book forever. Remember that recipe, because that is going to be a really, really, really super important little detail that's going to, well, um, you know, be really important. Now, I could say more. I don't want to spoil anything. So definitely hold on to that. And they got to meet the original cooks back in the '70s, and Sheena Silvers we got to see as the villain, person. That was kind of a really, really interesting episode. I couldn't understand that altering the timeline when the present and the past grandma, went into each other. That's one thing I don't understand. But I think that the official, real season 2 starts at this next episode. And so, because of this episode, I'm not going to tell you what happens in it. I've seen it like however many times already. But after this episode is done, that's when we're going to be ordering smoothies. Okay, because I promised that after the episode is done, you'll probably be in the mood for one. So we're going to be ordering them from the McDonald's and enjoying them and going somewhere and doing something. One show recommendation, one cooking show recommendation. We've already seen an episode of Helpful Indian Flavors with Alan Maylou. Remember seeing that? You could all remember. So we might see an episode of that sometime or another. Maybe the third season, because that's a little bit better. She's less repetitive and those kind of things, but I will definitely keep that on the listing. If we have time today, then we'll be seeing all those things. And some of you have been asking me about Super Nanny. We will see that. Okay, and I've not been telling you this, but you know that that we're doing all of the activities with the families and everything in between all of this stuff that we're doing at BMN10. Okay, so I've just not been telling you, but it's just been something that has been happening. So starting on the 11th, we're going to have our field day week. On the field day week, we're going to be like doing tug of war and cornhole and things like that. Okay. I think that Zach Callison coming here and we doing that fun afternoon with the going to the park channeled a little bit of the energy of cancer, but we might actually find a way to tie all this into cancer season. Just like Dance Moms and Kathy Stein consumed Taurus season. So that's what's probably going to happen during the negative seasons. But so there's going to be a lot of fun activities. There's going to be a lot of really, there's going to be like an ice cream making. There's going to be karaoke type games. There's going to be different challenges. Just so much, and there's going to be just a lot of things that you and your families might really, really like. And there's also throw a beanbag as far as you can. And to be able to do that, we're going to be going to a very, very big open space, because I've talked to the people and they let us use that stadium, which we found out was private land. But since they knew about the Amentons, we're going to be going there actually and doing all of our field day activities. So that is plenty of room, so, there's no telling of what we're gonna do, and I have other things on the board now, and I said that I was gonna write them up, write the schedule of all the activities up and everything, but no, I didn't. And also, what I have done is I have posted all of the information, all of the steps, all the different ideas. I've made screencastify recordings on the cancer project. And you've been telling me off and on, I have been working on this, I've been doing this. So remember how all of that works. It's due by the end of cancer season on July 22nd. I have not told you because, oh, don't even get me started. So I have done that. Thank you very, very, very much for working on it. I know I'm busy with a lot of stuff and I haven't put the attention on it, but I've laid it all out for you, okay, and I'm very, very, very glad that you have definitely kept me on my toes about that by working on it. Okay, so keep that up, okay, and you're doing it? Okay, well, you don't. You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay, wonderful. Okay, and speaking of which, let's see here. So, with all the plans I have, oh, yes. There's a cooking show that I was watching yesterday. It was called Joanne Wheeler's Plates and Places. And I think that you might like it. It's a show where she goes to different places and she cooks recipes based off of those places, and they're very, very simple and easy to do. And one thing I admire about Joanne Wheeler, she goes through the recipes and she goes through the show in a way that's very, very graceful and very, very easy and going and calming and smooth and all of those things. And also the way that she talks. There's something about that really is very enticing and intriguing and mesmerizing about the way that she talks and describes food and everything like that. So that's one thing. I really, really recommend that you see that. And with that out of the way, we're going to get into the videos that I have planned. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this works in our favor today. Because if it doesn't, you know how frustrating that is. So, we're going to be watching the horoscope, because this is something that we do, okay, as a little goal that we have for the United. So I can't push that aside. So a lot of things going on right now. Okay, and then what's going to happen? So we're going to see the horoscope. We're going to see the video of Zach Callison that I'm going to give a little introduction for. Okay, and then we're going to be seeing Chow Italia soup making or with something else. Maybe I'll decide to do something else. I might actually show you just a little sample episode of that Joanne Wheeler show. But, well, we'll see. So this is the horoscope. Now, you know the drill for this. I'm going to have everyone get their chairs and set themselves up. So that we can do you have a chair? Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. By all means, that is what the couch is here for, is to sit on. There's plenty of room for you all to sit and spread out. Wonderful, wonderful. Please, please, please use the couch. I'm going to keep telling you, here, for a reason. I'm not as tangled, and I don't know why. Okay, Oh, it'll probably find juice in it. 12. Okay, so this is the horoscope. I'm just gonna set this up right now. Okay. Thank you for letting me know about that. I really appreciate it. So this is the thing. This is what's really, really difficult because I have to turn and then it might mess something up. So you're going to have to do your best at trying to find an area where you're going to see that easily, because there's only so many people in this room and there's only so much room to see the show. So here it is. So did I say see the show? So this is the horse. What's the seat? Okay. And we're not gonna do this all the time. We're gonna do this as much as we can. Okay, and as much as I remember. Okay, so find a place where you can see it, and let's begin. Here it is. July 9th and 10th.
July 9th and 10th, Thursday and Friday, the sun is in Cancer and the moon is in Pisces. I love these people, the dreamers, the ones that get psychic information. They know when dead people are in the room. They have the gift of being able to use divination cards and tarot cards, and they love all things astrology. Whenever you're talking about water and the compassion of water, it brings you into a soft heart. And that's when spirituality enters. For some reason, we learn best when there's crisis. And this, I have to say, during July 9th and 10th, we have 3 planets in Capricorn: Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. And this has been going on during the beginning of COVID. Then Saturn went backwards into Aquarius. No, then Saturn went direct into Aquarius, and now it's going backwards again. So we have 3 planets in Capricorn. Just looks like what happened during the COVID thing. During a sun in Cancer and moon in Pisces, all of our emotional triggers of fear, of not knowing what's happening next, of feeling like we're out of control, this is definitely that sensitivity. Not to mention, Mercury is retrograde. Whoa! And during Cancer, when Mercury is retrograde, you have to review. This is a time to review, this Thursday and Friday, because the exact configuration of having Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all in Capricorn is exactly how this whole thing started back in the day. And we have Mars and Aries creating a lot of fire, and Sun in Cancer. Pretty soon they're going to be a T-square. They're not exact degree yet, but there's some tension. And the moon in Pisces, Thursday and Friday, it makes you so sensitive. So with 4 planets in Earth, the Sun and the moon in water, and Mercury, there's a mud. It's a very heavy time. And it's just because we can't seem to figure out this mystery. But the gift of water, people, is they live with so much faith. They have this deep, abiding passion for love. And you don't have to wonder about love. It's not a question mark if your heart can be open. It doesn't matter what the circumstances around your world. If you're a Cancer Pisces, you love your animals. It doesn't matter if there's a quarantine going on. You love your children. Who cares what the circumstances? So this is a real opportunity to give yourself some grounded energy around dreaming up a new reality, hoping and having faith, believing in moon and Pisces that there's another reality trying to be born. It's so easy to go negative right now. When there's 4 planets in Earth and all these planets in water, double water, it's muddy. But our job, and that's why you watch these videos, is to see if you can't find your faith. Because we know the stars work and we know love works. So Mercury's retrograde is a little nerve-wracking. Why don't we go backwards and remember not the outer world, said the Cancer Pisces, of what was normal, but the inner world of finding more and more love, because that's what's going on right now. We're finding our true value system, which has to come down to simple things like, oh, I'm so glad you're sitting next to me. Astrology Answers wanted me to tell you it's a highly emotional Thursday and Friday. Don't get discouraged. Just because it feels scary doesn't mean something's wrong. It means things are changing, and we don't know. But if we have faith and love, it's all good. Brought to you by Pollyanna.
Pollyanna, you know, she uses the word glad and she's really, really positive. Remember seeing that movie? It's the British version of and Shirley. So if I can possibly find a way to get out of this here. So, okay. So, home, I'll just go here. Okay, now I found that, how to do that. So, the next video that we're going to be watching, I want to give you a little insight into what this is going to be about, and a little bit of introductory about this video. So I want you to just look up here real quick, because this video will be featuring our amazing guest, Zach Callison. Okay, and just for a little reminder, we have an image up here. It's kind of getting dull to look at now because I've looked at it so much. I need to maybe change it up a little bit, and I may need to take it down and find another image. Fresh start. So I want to give you a little introduction to the video that we're going to be watching. This is a video that I started, I just couldn't get through, and I don't know why. It's kind of and nothing against you, but the video that we're going to be watching from Zach Callison is a video that is going to seem very, very random, a little bit uninteresting, like you don't really care about a whole lot of what's going on, and you're just kind of turned off by just several little things. I don't know what it is that made me kind of feel a little bit of resistance and weird sometimes when the mentioned guest is speaking. I often feel like I am speaking to one of my peers that I used to have. But that is just natural and nothing against you at all for that. So that's kind of, me and everything. But so the video that we're going to be watching has to do with the themes of road trips, has to do with travel. Think of, Sagittarius, which is all about adventure and travel. And you think about cars and all the ways of different transportations, cars, trucks, planes, trains, but specifically trucks, and also relationships. Now remember if you've seen Raven's Home, and we've seen several episodes of Raven's Home way back in September of 2019 when we had what's her name? Amy Edwards at the Edmonton, also known as Amy Whipperger at the Edmonton. We had the little resemblance prayer with Annalise Vanderpool, and then we had the concert with Candle on the Water and everything. So remember those customs. And remember, we've seen several episodes of Raven's Home, and she lives in Chicago. And that's where the video that we're going to be watching takes place, is Chicago, downtown. So, and it was like in October, it's probably warm, but so I don't know. So she has a little job, just like taxi drivers. When you go into cities, those taxi drivers. And they travel around, and she said that the most interesting part of her job, the most fun part, is the people that she gets to ride, getting to know them, getting to have quality time, getting to connect and talk to them and share with them. So there's several different types of car relationships. There's siblings, there's friends, there's just almost strangers, there's part of a wedding club, there's family, or they could be mixed in, but there's also companions and mates relationship. And that's what I want to focus on today. And I want to talk about this. one of the very, very interesting things is, remember when Just Add Magic, when Jake had a food bike and he went around and sold his food? He traveled movable for business. And now I want to talk about what that's based on, and that's based on food trucks. And food trucks are where one person or a team of people, mates, companions, their own independent team, go around and then they open themselves up, they cook the food, and then they sell it, and then the truck is just sitting in the city or somewhere, and people go up and then they give them money, they get the food, they have a menu, and so the whole thing about traveling around for a business and a function, really, with not family or not, siblings, but rather mates or companions or like a team of people. This could also, and I'm going to also talk about another very, very important thing that you find in cities. That I had a beloved resistance to. Okay, remember when we put the SH in the word and then the other word has the S, remember that's the opposite meaning. So when I say resistance, I mean not a resistance. So the opposite of resemblance. Having the SH is the opposite. Okay? So I had a resistance, both of those at the same time. 2 street performers, 2 guitarists, 2 band players,